I like photo and video, but I'm also a part of different sub-teams such as chairmans.
I'm on the build team and the marketing team.
Okay. Tell us about your team, where you're from, how old your team is, and how many members you have.
Okay. Well, we are 15 years old. We're from Rochester Hills, Michigan, and Adams High School. And we have 70 students, like a third of them are girls, and then we have about 30 mentors.
Wow. How many people, including writers, presenters, and mentors, worked on your essays and presentations this year?
I'm sorry, you know.
So we have about 2 mentors. Well, we have 2 mentors, and we have 8 students who helped work on the presentation and essay.
All right. How does your team brainstorm when it comes to chairmans?
We just kind of all sit around and pitch in ideas. We try to find a theme and build from that.
All right. What is your team's preferred style of presentation? Like themed or business or talking points?
It would be a theme, obviously. Each year we pick a theme. This year our theme was connections and how Adambots connected to the first community, just the local community and responses and so on.
I like that. Were there any major chairman-related challenges your team faced?
We faced, I think that this was like kind of lucky that we didn't face a lot of challenges. We definitely did have challenges like any other team would have. We had some scheduling problems where people couldn't make some of the meetings, and sometimes some of the presenters couldn't show up to present. But we worked it out, and we had other people fill in, and it wasn't that much of a big deal.
All right, cool. Lucky. What do you think the most important thing for teams to keep in mind when they're either writing or presenting for chairmans?
I think it's just like to bounce ideas off each other and also go to other members of your team that aren't just focused on chairmans. Because like you'll be surprised at like the great ideas that come from an outside view, well within your team, but an outside view on chairmans. Yeah.
Well, that's what this event is about, right? And do you have any more tips for the teams here?
I would definitely say to individually be really confident in your ideas, and don't be afraid to say something, because that idea could quite possibly be outstanding to the rest of the team, and it would be a really good idea. So don't kind of just think that no one's really listening or that other people might have better ideas, because, I mean, you don't really know until you say it. So just be confident also, and if you do get the chance to be a presenter, then be confident as well. Yeah.
All right, well, that's it. That's all the questions we have for you guys. Thank you. Team 815 with their presentation for this year. Forgot what. Yeah, Katie's the same as Hi, guys. Just got some questions for you. So can you give me you guys some names?
I'm glad I'm a student. Middle school, and I
Lauren, can you do me a favor? Can you let us hear your questions a little bit more you're facing now?
Okay.
And maybe have them come up from underneath that ceiling so their voice comes to us. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No, that's all
Sorry. So tell us a little bit about your team.
We have 11 or 12 members. We've been a team since 2002, and we have 4 mentors, I believe.
Hey, I can't keep everybody straight.
Yeah, we're a combination of Adambots High School and St. Francis Community in Adambots, Michigan.
All right. What was your experience like when you were creating the presentation this year? Interesting?
Yeah, no, for sure. We pitched in ideas, and then, like everyone else, going through the whole process of getting a theme for everything, and then as well as we have like a lot of challenges considering since we only have none members, probably don't have more working on the chairman's and stuff.
All right. Is there anything you plan on doing to improve your team and submission that you'd like to share for everybody?
Definitely, like as you can tell, the visuals aren't the greatest, but then again, for chairman, like the room is like extremely tiny and they're like 5 feet away from you. And then, like in our first competition this field season, or last field season, I should say, we were late 5 minutes, so that's never good. And definitely getting more people from our team involved.
Mentioning the room for a second. That was hard to get in that room comfortably. It's 8-foot long truck. 8-foot long truck. Just telling you guys. It's diagonally.
Quick word of advice, make sure that your prop always fits through the door and in the trailer. Those are the 2 key ingredients.
I had to drive to take that too. Because I have a truck, I'm the only one with a capital truck.
All right. And for the last question, did you learn anything important that you want to share with the rest of the teams here?
Well, we learned like the concept of building more than just robots. I think that was a thing for chairmen. So we really focused on reaching out to like Ben, he's a middle schooler. He's part of the level team as well. And it's always nice spreading out that message because sometimes it's seen as a minority in schools, just like, oh, we do robotics instead of like school like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, you guys have the floor.
In combination with this, we have a video, but as you can see, we can't really show it, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we were going to do videos, but that projector is connected to a computer that I cannot access because it's got passwords, and I don't feel like trying to hack it into girls' computers. I don't think they'd be very happy.
Okay, we apologize ahead of time, this might be a little rough. Team 815 is the union of Adambots High School and San Francisco Community High School. We have 13 active who work relentlessly year round to build more than just robots.
We work to build awareness for first and STEAM by visiting Elmhurst Middle School and freshman orientation with a robot to introduce students to engineering, robots, and FIRST.
We engage the community with a variety of ways, including participation in homecoming festivities of both schools, show off our t-shirt unit, and participated in an arthritis walk.
Team 815 co-hosts the first robotics zone at Maker Fair at the Multi-Core Museum, an excellent venue to introduce FIRST to many people. We also visit the Michigan Engineering Zone to both assist and learn from other teams.
It is a suburb of the Motor City. We participate in an alliance of 8 teams sponsored by Ford Motor Company called Team Ford First. Each winter we sponsor a friendly competition called Winterfest at Elmhurst. This helps us build a strong network of teams.
In addition to the team collaboration, we help run and support other FRC teams, FLL teams, and FTC teams.
Our team functions not only because our dedicated members, but because we have the best mentors and team design.
Along with Ford, we also acquire other sponsors such as 3M, Flexingate, Kiwanis, and Metro Storage. Also, we have many fundraising events, including selling food at competitions, collecting cans, hosting and running an FLL competition, and a huge annual yard sale.
Our ultimate goal is to inspire others to in everything we do. We work on all aspects of safety and have received safety awards for the past 3 years. Safety first.
Team 815 built awareness for FIRST, robotics, and STEAM. We work to form durable relationships inside and outside the team. We construct partnerships that shape our community around various aspects of FIRST values and gracious professionals.
We manufacture robots to inspire.
We open the minds.
And to revolutionize the world around us.
We create bright futures filled with endless opportunities to accomplish anything we put our minds to.
Our ultimate goal is we are advanced products.
Okay, we are advanced power team 815, and we build more than robots.
All right, last but not least, we have Team 59 here. As you surprised, are the only team up here that are rookies, am I right?
Yes.
So I'm going to change all the words to rookie all-star. So, names.
I'm Sophia, business team. I'm Kayla, I'm on the business team. Okay.
You guys can start with a little bit. Alright. Tell us a little bit about your team, where you're from, how old you are, but how many members you have.
We're from Trenton, Michigan. We have about 17 members and 7 mentors.
How many people, including writers, presenters, and mentors, worked on creating your presentations?
4. And 1
How does your team how did your team brainstorm when it came to the Rookie All-Star Award?
We kind of sat down at a table and with a whole bunch of computers and we thought over our ideas and planned and we threw out the better ones and improved the ones we already had and just kind of went around and did it.
What was your team's preferred style of presentation? Being business, talking points, etc.
I love talking points. Kevin likes the script, and Kayla's new to this, so we're going to see.
But you guys did have a themed presentation.
We did.
You're big,
You want
yellow,
to tell us about that?
It was like 8 feet, 9 feet.
Bigger
and
than
then
the truck.
like 6.
Yeah, it's bigger than the truck.
It was an elevator.
It slid.
Yes.
It had a sliding door. And
It was really impressive. I've seen their prop. It was a big elevator. It was amazing.
Yep, made it out of a refrigerator box. So it was like this tall, and we had a circle indicator on it, so that made it even taller. Getting that into the rooms was pretty great. It was interesting, especially at stage. The room at stage was like from me to Laurelyn big, and then the judges were sitting right there. So we have a like 9-foot PVC pipe that we're walking in and spinning around, and the judges are ducking because they're like about to clock up a PVC pipe. It's like, okay, this is not good. Smaller crowd next year.
Were there any major Rookie All-Star related challenges your team faced when it came to this season?
Absolutely. We had absolutely no idea what we were doing. The whole time, pretty much. I mean, Laurelyn was practically our like individual mentor for the entire process. So it was like, hey, can we just come to Taylor and work at Taylor? Because we have a really small room too. So there wasn't actually a lot of room. We didn't spend one day a week at the room where our robot was. So we would go to Taylor, we would work at someone's house because we really had very little idea what we were doing. And I mean, our mentor coming in about halfway through really did help us a lot with that. But I mean, Laurelyn was a really huge part of why we made it so far.
Disclaimer, I did not tell her to say that.
No.
And what is the most important thing you think for teams to keep in mind when it comes to doing the Rookie All-Star?
We all have no idea what we're doing. All the other rookie teams had no idea what they were doing. And it was great that we got so much help and support because, you know, we had maybe just a little bit more. But I mean, and then everybody too. I could ask anybody in this room a question and everyone would answer. And it's a great thing. It's like the most mind-blowing thing I think about first is how willing everyone is to answer a question.
So, like, you want to have teams keep in mind that, you know, people are open to help. You know, it's not closed up. You just, you ask for help, you get it.
Yeah, for sure.
And do you have any more tips when it comes to presenting, creating anything to share?
We're still kind of learning ourselves, so like, I guess we just kind of build on over time and we'll just keep going every day and see where we go. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I mean, the more that you get out and talk about stuff too, that's coming here and talking in. We've been doing a lot of demos for sponsors lately and talking to them. It's a lot, it's a big deal. I mean, you're getting the practice that you need as rookies, so
you
have to say.
want to start early.
Yes.
Don't wait around a few years. You want to start right now.
Yes, start as fast as you can, especially the rookie. I think you get a lot, you guys can do a lot more for chairmen than we did for rookie all-star presentation. So I think it was a great way to dip our toes in for the next couple of years.
All right, cool. I'm just going to say, these guys did win the Rookie All-Star Award this year and did make it to states. Very proud of people. So thank you guys for coming up. Now, last but not least, we have the Eagle Imperium. creating your essays and presentations this year?
So we had like 2 mentors and maybe 5 people primarily, and then a bunch of other people helped out.
How did your team brainstorm when it came to chairmans?
First, we all kind of helped out, and then as the chairman's group kind of broke off, and then had weekly meetings about it.
What is your team's preferred style of presentation, like themed, business, talking points? Like, what do you guys do this year?
So
Mostly the top.
yeah, so this year we made a PowerPoint presentation based off of the main points of our essay. We used that.
Okay, cool. Were there any major chairman's-related challenges your team faced that you'd like to share?
Yeah. So I think the biggest challenge we had this year was procrastination. For some reason, the team had this sort of idea that there's a deadline for each part, and you shouldn't start working on that part until the deadline is getting close. The only thing that was relating us to the deadline. So we finished the presentation very shortly before, and then we finished the video very shortly before, we finished the video finally right before we submitted it. And that, it did work out all right, but what happened was we didn't get as much time as we needed to review, go over, make any changes we wanted to, and so the finished product wasn't as finished as it could have been.
There was also like, we had a week delay because of all the snow days, and we had a plan like first, our entire team was going to work in the chairman, but then the week went without any work being done, so we had to focus all on the robot, and so only the chairman team focused on the chairman video and essay and presentation. So a lot of the input from the rest of the team didn't make it, which hindered a lot.
Great. What do you think is the most important thing for teams to keep in mind when you're either writing or presenting?
Well, one thing that I thought I learned this year about chairmans is from watching other successful teams' chairman's presentations and from looking at ours. It's besides the presentation, everyone talks about how we need to make the presentation great, but it's also really important to do good things. We had a good presentation, but to be honest, last year we didn't do that much outreach. We didn't do nearly as much as some other teams, and we realized we really need to step that up. Before you can start making that great, interesting, awesome presentation, you gotta have a foundation of being good in your community, having stuff to talk about.
That is
Definitely.
And do you have any more tips for the teams here?
Try to get the entire team involved in your chairman video, and just get continuous input on what the chairman video is. Get all your members to help out making it. It makes a presentation better and also shows how the chairman is involved with everyone on the team, not just a specific team and within the team.
And also start early and keep working on it steadily. Instead of start early, talk about it a little bit, forget about it for a few weeks, and then work really hard for it. That's not fun.
All right, cool. That's all the questions I have. So thank you very much. So how I want to run this little Q&A session is anybody who have a question, raise your hand, and I'll call on you. Please try to direct it to 1 or 2 teams, so not every team is answering the question because we're going to be here for another hour. And we don't have that much time before the driver's meeting starts. So I know a lot of people need to get over to that. So does anybody have any questions?
I have a question as a mentor, because I heard some of you say talk about procrastinating and all that, and I was one of those mentors that came in January because there was no direction, and it was my first time my son was on a team. So I had a couple questions that I haven't been able to answer. When are materials available, like the essay question or those questions? When can you actually get started with chairmans? I know you're gonna think your theme and all that, but actually the essay writing and those paragraphs.
I think it might be October. It's either October or the day that it starts.
So it's before the release of the robot and stuff.
The specific exact rules on it come out in the manual on kickoff, but they don't make big changes from year to year, so you can start now really.
Right, okay. But so are the essays and those little, because I came in and all that was already done and not super duper well, because it didn't tell me on the team, but we had to work from there. So those little paragraphs, you all have the right answer to those things, are those pretty much questions the same?
There's a few basic ones that are generally the same. If you answer all the ones from the year before, most of them will be the same. There will be a few that are changed.
But that's part of the stuff that comes out of.
Okay, that comes out. Yeah, next question, because I was working off, I said, well, what are the rubrics? So I got all the rubrics from past year, and there was a huge change in the rubric this year. Do you think this rubric is, I mean, it looks pretty solid. Is that what you're all going to work on for next year? Do you know when the rubric's going to be released?
The rubric is released when you get your feedback. You are not allowed to see it, as far as I know. You can't see it previously. It really is up to first on what they want to focus on and what they want to know, because they did, like, for example, they took out the rubric area where it was talking about mentors. So if you talked about mentors, they liked it, but they weren't scoring on it. So you do want, we did go off the rubric from last year, but you do want to be careful. You want to include as much stuff as you can, just so you can cover all of it. You don't want to base yourself solely on what last year
Right,
is.
well, we worked off what they had, you know, the comments that they were supposed to work on. It ended up like, kind of like that. It wasn't great, or really, really high in the rubric this year was if you had, you know, started FLL teams, or, you know, if you really started new teams. So how many of you are involved with like starting teams or FLL or FT, you know, those type of teams?
Yeah.
That seems key now.
Yeah, they did add a lot of questions about starting other teams.
Okay, I think those were just mine. Thank you.
Alright, can I ask how each of the teams, how many members you had on your team this year? So like just go down the line. I just wanna know.
On the whole team?
Yeah, the whole team entirely.
We have like around 11 to 13, but some of them graduated, so I think it's 11.
Alright.
I don't know the exact number, but it's around 50.
From 70, did you say?
50.
50.
We have 42. Yeah, the fire marshal will allow us to have any more.
We had about 30. It fluctuated a little bit, but it stayed stable around 30.
About 17.
We had 22. Alright. Now, follow up to those teams who had a low number, like 25 and under. How did you guys just like do your entire season? Because Frog Force this year we had 82 students, which is a lot, but we still had some trouble with like manpower and getting people to, you know, work on robot instruments. So how did you like have 11 people work on your entire team? That's really impressive to me. It's how you guys got so few people to do such a big task.
Yeah, from the beginning of the build season, we came up with like a schedule, and we did like 2 shifts, like 2 hours after the team comes, and then 2 hours another. But then we also broke off on like what you really want to focus on, whether it's electrical or mechanical. And I mean, since it is small, some people can shift over to like other parts and help out. So that makes us all really well rounded. And yeah, it's just working together.
We were new, and so I mean, we all didn't know anything. So what we all kind of learned it together, and then we did break off. So the 3 of us that were writing it, we went somewhere else. We were really focused for the hour and a half or whatever that we were like working on it. We worked on it, and it was really like a short burst of time like that we got a lot done because we were like not distracted when we were with the other team, but we were working on the robot or with other things that were, you know what I mean? It's kind of take away and just work on the chairmans.
I know we don't really count the 25 or under, but what we did actually have, you know, a few issues getting everything done. But we did, what we encourage is freshmen to float, where they just do whatever they're interested in. We make sure, you know, they complete tasks and stuff, but they're encouraged to do whatever they want, whatever they're interested in. And then if a group needs extra people, they'll grab freshmen. They may not be, you know, experts at what they're doing, but it's extra manpower. And we also have subgroups and a lot of people working in a bunch of different subgroups to get everything done.
We also have team leaders, and the team leaders know what they're doing. So a team leader can take 1 or 2 people, 3 people, how many you need, and they can each give them a job that they can handle. Yeah, student leadership. They're not mentors. I mean, being on the year, 2 years, you know what you're doing. You know how to construct a drivetrain or possibly a shooter. So as long as you have someone guiding them, they'll be okay. And there's always other things to do, maybe clean the room up, a bunch of other options.
Thank you very much.
Does anybody else have any questions? All right, cool.
Thank you.